مسألة الوصول إلى قنبلة نووية هي حاصل الملام في توتر. يعني مسألة الوصول إلى مسألة الوصول إلى قنبلة نووية هي مسألة الوصول إلى قنبلة نووية هي حاصلة.
For them to acquire a nuclear bomb.
For them to acquire a nuclear bomb. For them to acquire a nuclear bomb.
فكيف مسألة الوصول إلى قنبلة نووية هي
to them
حتمية. فكيف نحصل
is
حتمية.
Is inevitable. Is inevitable.
Is inevitable.
Is inevitable.
For them to acquire a nuclear bomb is inevitable.
Is inevitable.
Is inevitable.
Is inevitable.
Is inevitable.
Is inevitable.
Is inevitable. For them to acquire a nuclear bomb is inevitable. Is inevitable.
Is inevitable.
Is inevitable. Is inevitable. For them to acquire a nuclear bomb is inevitable.
Is inevitable.
Is inevitable. Is inevitable. Is inevitable. Is inevitable.
Is inevitable.
Is inevitable. Is inevitable. Is inevitable.
فكيف نحصل هي يعني مسألة الوصول إلى قنبلة نووية هي حاصلة حتمية. فكيف نحصل هي
أن كان في اتفاقية أو ما في اتفاقية.
يعني مسألة الوصول إلى قنبلة نووية هي حاصلة حتمية. فكيف نحصل
هي أن كان في اتفاقية أو ما في
Indeed.
Indeed, with or without the agreement.
Indeed, في الواقع with or without
Indeed, with or without the agreement.
agreements.
Indeed, with or without the agreement.
Indeed, with or without the agreement.
Indeed, with or without the agreement.
Agreements. Indeed, بالواقع with or without the agreement. في الواقع مع أو بدون اتفاق. Indeed, with or without the agreement. Indeed, with or without the agreement.
Indeed, with or without the agreement. Indeed, with or without the agreement.
Indeed, with or without the agreement.
فالمشكلة الأساسية مع إيران ما هو النووي. قادة في البلد.
The main problem with Iran is not the nuclear weapon.
The main problem with Iran is not the nuclear weapon.
The main problem with Iran is not the nuclear weapon.
The main problem with Iran is not the nuclear weapon. المشكلة الرئيسية مع إيران ليست السلاح النووي. The main problem with Iran is not nuclear weapon.
The main problem with Iran is not the nuclear weapon.
Nuclear weapon.
The Iranian leaders spend their day. The Iranian leaders spend their day. The Iranian leaders spend their day.
The Iranian leaders spend their day. القادة الإيرانيين يقضون يومهم. The Iranian leaders spend their day يقضون يومهم. spend their day. Dreaming how to expel America from the region. Dreaming
في إيران يعني بيصحوا الصباح وبيناموا الليل وأحلامهم إنه يطردوا أمريكا من المنطقة.
the Iranians spend their day
Dreaming how to enter America from the region. Dreaming how to enter America from the region. Dreaming how to expel America from the region.
Dreaming how to expel America from the region. تحلم كيف تطرد أمريكا من المنطقة. Dreaming تحلم. How to expel America from the region.
فهذا عدو عقدي ضد
How could America build an alliance? How could America build an alliance? How could America build an alliance?
How could America build an alliance? So this is an ideologian.
So this is an ideological enemy.
Ideological enemy. So this is an ideological enemy.
So this is an ideological enemy.
So this is an ideological enemy.
So this is an ideological enemy.
So this is an ideological enemy. لذلك هو عدو. هذا عدو ideology. So this is an ideological enemy. So this is an ideological enemy.
How could America build an alliance?
How could America build an alliance?
How could America build an alliance?
How could America build an alliance with them? معهم. How could America build an alliance with them? معهم. So this is an ideological enemy. How could America build an alliance with them? So this is an ideological enemy. How could America build an alliance with them? كيف يمكن لأمريكا أن تبني تحالفا معهم؟ So this is an ideological enemy. How could America build an alliance with them? Dreaming how to expel America from the region. So this is an ideological enemy. How could America build an alliance with them? فكيف تبني تحالفا أمريكا معهم؟
كيف بدك تتحالف معه؟ ما عجزت أفهم.
يعني لما يزعجني لما السعودية مدانة حتى تثبت براءتها. لما يزعجني لما السعودية مدانة حتى تثبت براءتها.
Why is Saudi Arabia guilty until proven innocent?
Why is Saudi
Arabia guilty until proven innocent?
Why is Saudi Arabia guilty until proven?
Why is Saudi Arabia guilty until proven innocent? 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 Why is Saudi Arabia guilty until proven innocent?
Why is Saudi Arabia guilty until proven innocent?
Why is Saudi Arabia guilty until proven innocent?
Why is Saudi Arabia guilty until proven innocent? لماذا السعودية مذنبة حتى تثبت براءتها؟
في كل أنواع.
In any situation.
In any situation.
In any situation.
In any situation. في أي ظرف. In any situation. In any situation.
أهلا وسهلا. هذا فنجان من إذاعة ثمانية وأنا.
This is Finjan, one of Thamania projects, and this is Abdurrahman Abu Ali.
I've always wanted to understand the U.S. foreign policy towards the Middle East.
I've always wanted to understand the U.S.
I've always wanted to understand the U.S. foreign policy towards the Middle East.
رحمن أبو مالح. لطالما ودي أفهم السياسة الخارجية الأمريكية تجاه الشرق الأوسط.
I've always wanted to understand the U.S. foreign policy towards the Middle East.
I have always wanted to understand the U.S.
I've always wanted to understand the U.S. foreign policy towards the Middle East. I've always wanted to understand. Foreign policy towards the Middle East. Foreign policy towards the Middle East.
Foreign policy towards.
Foreign policy towards the Middle East. Foreign policy towards the Middle East.
Foreign policy towards the Middle East.
Foreign policy towards the Middle.
Foreign policy towards the Middle East. Foreign policy.
Foreign.
أجنبي. Foreign. Foreign policy. سياسة. Policy. Policy سياسات. Foreign policy towards. من اتجاه towards.
من اتجاهي.
I've always wanted to understand the US foreign policy towards the Middle East. I've always wanted to understand the US foreign policy towards the Middle East. لطالما أردت فهم السياسات الخارجية للولايات المتحدة.
In the Arab Gulf countries in particular.
In the Arab Gulf countries.
In the Arab Gulf countries in particular.
In particular. In particular. In particular. In particular. In particular.
والخليج العربية، لكن الرأي اللي دائما نسمعه
In particular.
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 خاص.
Particular. Particular. Particular.
خاص.
Particular.
Particular. خاص.
Particular.
خاص.
Particular.
In particular. على وجه الخصوص. In particular. Arab and Arab Gulf countries in particular. In particular.
Particular.
But
what we get is either.
But what we get is either.
وإما رأي أحد متكي معنا في الرياض أو تسمع الأمريكان يتكلمون عن الرأي اللي دائما نسمعه، هو إما رأي أحد متكي معنا في الرياض.
But what we get is either. ولكن ما نحصل عليه. But what we get is either. But what we get is either. But what we get is either.
The opinion of a fellow Saudi in Riyadh.
The opinion of fellow Saudi in Riyadh.
Fellow.
زميل.
Fellow.
The opinion of fellow Saudi. The opinion of fellow.
Fellow.
Fellow. The opinion of fellow Saudi in Riyadh. Or American.
Or Americans discussing it as others.
Or Americans discussing.
Or Americans discussing it as others.
Or American discussing.
Or Americans discussing it as others. Or Americans discussing it as others.
Or American discussing it as others.
Discussing.
مناقشة. Or American discussing it is others. أو يناقشها الأمريكيون مثل الآخرين. Or American discussing it is other مثل الآخرون.
But here from Riyadh.
لكننا هنا في الرياض ودي كانت هذه الحلقة محاولة لفهم بايدن لما تنظر إلى إيران بهذا الشيء.
But he was from Iraq, but here from رياض، لكن هنا من الرياض. I want to understand. أريد أن أفهم.
This episode is an attempt to understand Biden's administration. This episode is an attempt to understand Biden's administration. This episode is an attempt to understand Biden's administration. This episode is an attempt to understand Biden's administration. This episode is an attempt to understand Biden's administration. This episode is an attempt to understand Biden's administration.
Administrations. إدارة. This is episode. This is episode. حلقة.
Episode.
This is episode.
Attempt.
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 محاولة
Attempt. محاولة. This is episode is an attempt to understand Biden administration. This is episode is attempt.
Attempt.
This is episode is attempt. This is episode is an attempt to understand Biden's
Attempt. Administration.
administrations. Biden's administration.
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 Administrations.
تنظر إلى إيران بهذا الشكل لما لم تستطع إسرائيل أن تعلن في الداخل الأمريكي منع الاتفاق النووي والملام في توتر علاقات السعودية الأمريكية.
The reason behind its rapprochements with Iran.
The reason behind it is.
The reason behind its rapprochements with Iran. The reason behind its rapprochements with Iran.
The reason behind it is.
The reason behind its rapprochements with Iran. Rapprochements.
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 التقارب
Rapprochements.
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 التقارب
Rapprochements.
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 Rapprochements. The reason behind it is rapprochements with Iran. Rapprochements. التقارب.
لماذا سوريا؟
لما لم تستطع
despite رغم.
Why couldn't Israel, despite its influence on America?
Why could Israel, despite in its influence on America.
Why couldn't Israel,
Why couldn't
despite
Israel,
its influence
despite
on
its
America,
influence on
Influence
America,
in America.
why couldn't Israel,
why couldn't
despite
Israel,
its influence
despite
on
its
America,
influence on America,
why couldn't Israel,
why couldn't
despite
Israel,
its influence
despite
on
its
America,
influence on America,
Why couldn't Israel,
why couldn't Israel,
why couldn't
despite its
Israel,
influence
despite
on
its
America,
influence on America,
on America, despite بالرغم.
despite,
Why
despite,
couldn't Israel, despite its influence on America?
influence,
influence,
Why couldn't Israel, despite its influence on America?
couldn't,
couldn't,
Why couldn't Israel, despite its influence on America? لماذا لم تستطع إسرائيل رغم تأثيرها على أمريكا stop the unclear
stop the nuclear
stop the
agreement,
nuclear agreement,
stop the nuclear
stop the nuclear
stop the
agreement,
nuclear
stop the
agreement,
nuclear agreement وقف الاتفاق النووي stop the nuclear agreement stop the nuclear agreement وقف الاتفاق النووي nuclear agreement
إسرائيل هي المتوغلة في الداخل الأمريكي منع الاتفاق النووي. من الملام في توتر العلاقات السعودية الأمريكية؟ لما دوما السعودية متهمة حتى تثبت براءتها. فضيفي في هذه الحلقة هو البروفيسور برنارد هيكل.
Whom is to blame in the Saudi American tensions? Whom is to blame in the Saudi American tensions?
Whom is to blame in the Saudi American tensions? Who is to blame in the Saudi America tensions? على من يقع اللوم على التوترات السعودية الأمريكية؟ Whom is to blame in the Saudi American tensions توترات. Whom is to blame in the Saudi American tensions? Whom is to blame in the Saudi American tensions? على من يقع اللوم؟
من الملام في توتر العلاقات السعودية الأمريكية؟
In the Saudi American tensions. Why is the Saudi Arabia guilty until proven innocent? Copy.
Innocent.